Hi, book lover. Welcome to our library, our library. It's all about funding the reading culture. Where seats are credited and corporate certified. My name is MD Njiru, the artist. So today's video is all about turning around our tragedies and milking our tragedies and transforming them into wins. You know, maximizing on our tragedies. The Chinese have a saying about in every crisis there is an opportunity. But it's unfortunate that during the crisis, we get paralyzed by the crisis and we get fixated by the crisis or the tragedy and fail to realize the opportunity, you know? So I'm reading this book by Og Mandino. It's called The University of Success. And this book has just amazing gems inside it. So I've decided to share to share. I'll read from from the book, then we proceed with the video. So here it goes. One morning I collapsed. My heart. You'll have to lie in bed for a year of complete rest, the doctor said. He did not encourage me to believe I would ever be strong again. In bed for a year? To be invalid? Perhaps to die? I was terror stricken. Where did all this have to happen to me? What had I done to deserve it? I wept and wailed. A neighbor of mine, Mr. Rudolph, an artist, said to me, You think now you think now that spending a year in bed will be a tragedy? But it won't be. You'll have time to think and get acquainted with yourself. You'll make more spiritual growth in these next few months than you ever made during all your previous life. I became calmer and tried to develop a new sense of values. I read books of inspiration. One day I heard a radio commentator say, You can only express what is in your con- consciousness. Okay. Let me fast forward the story. The other part inasema, My dear Blake, you may not realize it, but you learned the same lesson that Dr. James Johnson learned 200 years ago. The habit of looking on the best side of every event, said Dr. Johnson, is worth more than £1,000 a year. So basically, the takeaway from that book up to that point that I've read is about the looking at the best side of any situation. You get? So looking on the best side on of any situation. So to drive this point home, I'll share several stories, several personal stories. Yeah. And I hope I'll drive the point home. So the first story is is about a friend of mine, and I hope when they watch this, they will be encouraged. In fact, two friends, and I hope they will be encouraged. Yeah, I'm not sharing this from a place of bad intent. So this one friend was unemployed some time back, but they had this ambition of starting a channel. In fact, they had even started the channel, and along the way, the channel like fizzled. So when we were just having a conversation, someone suggested to them that during this time that you are unemployed, it's the best time for you to concentrate with your channel. You know, you have all the time at your disposal. you have all the creative energies within you. But my friend was had a contrary opinion, to that. So the friend was like, okay, when I resume my when I get another job, when I get a job, yeah, I know I will be in a better place. I will be coming from the job, and I'll be doing the videos and all that. But when that friend finally got the job is so demanding that it takes so much from her that they don't have time to do the videos, you know. So I think this time that what appeared to be like a tragedy, that she didn't have the job, yet she had all the the equipments and everything necessary to do the videos. She could have capitalized on that. You get the point? So sometimes what appears to be a tragedy, later on you'll find there was an opportunity inside it. You know, even when COVID happened, yeah, COVID is one of the tragedies, the latest tragedy to mankind. But in it, there were so many opportunities. Yeah, in it there were so many opportunities. So some people capitalized on those opportunities. Some companies capitalized on those opportunities. Yeah, and they reaped so much from capitalizing in the opportunity. So whatever seems to be a tragedy, people benefit from it. There are people who benefit from it. I've never traded in stocks or anything related to stocks, but I guess the best advice out there in regards to stocks is that when others are when others are selling, yeah, when the market appears to be like it's crashing, when others are selling, disposing of their stocks, their shares, that's the best time to buy. That's the best time to buy. So that's the principle. Anytime it seems like you're in a crisis, anytime that you see like there is a tragedy, ask yourself, in this tragedy, in this crisis, what can you benefit from? Still on YouTube and the channel and all that, I was speaking to another friend, and they were telling me like, right now I'm in school, but once I'm done with school, I'll now immerse myself full time to okay, the words are not full time, but I will now immerse myself into to create content and all that. You see? So being in school and the course is demanding may seem like a tragedy. You get the point? But what's the opportunity in this? Remember, okay, don't have the details and I don't want to mess to people's affair. But remember, when this person is in school, most of the people when they're in school, their bills and what have you is taken care of. You know, in fact, most of the best inventions that that ever happened, they happened they happened or were created by people who were still in college. Why? Because these people had a cushion around them. You know, they're in school, so they're not doing this project to make money. This project doesn't have a time frame. This project must break even by this time frame. But once someone has started life, like you're done with school, any project you involve yourself in, you're like, hey, I need this project to start making money or generating money in 6 months. You know. But when you're in school, it may appear like a tragedy, like I'm in school, the studies and all that, but you have this cushion. Yeah, so there's that opportunity. So I'm sure you'll be watching this video. So take advantage. Take advantage now that you're in school, and yeah, share your content with the world. Share your stories with the world. You know? The other aspect that I want to share is still in tragedy. Don't waste your pain. Don't waste your pain. You know, human beings rarely change. Change is so uncomfortable. I myself included. Change is so uncomfortable. Unless something triggers the change, we tend to remain eh, in the comfort zone. So tragedy comes with it. Most of the time, tragedy brings with it pain. But don't let this pain go to waste. After all, you suffer the pain. So if you're suffering the pain, you better suffer the pain and turn it into something great. There's this movie I was watching. I can't remember the name of the movie, but it was featuring Steve King's. There was this young man that was trying to write and all that, but he could not bring himself to writing. Then he started dating. He was a teenager. He started dating this lady. Then at the end of the movie, it's like this young man suffered a heartbreak from the lady. And the beauty of the heartbreak is that it came with a book. Yeah, the young man was able to complete. The young boy was able to complete a book. Yeah, so the heartbreak made him to 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 close himself, to shut himself in his room and just write and write and write and write. So if you remember the title of the movie, kindly share in the comment section. I can't remember the title of the movie. So most of the time we waste our pain. You know, maybe someone just got fired, but you waste that pain. What if you turn that pain of getting fired, of getting laid off, to starting your business? What if you turn that pain to doing something great? Yeah. So tragedy brings with it pain, and this pain, if channeled right, it can produce amazing things. Then something else that I would talk about is still sharing about tragedy and maximizing on tragedy. I've realized there are so many people who are losing their jobs and that. So the past two videos, the other video about the library being a Swiss Army knife, I try to focus on people who are unemployed and how they can benefit from going to the library. So also this video will focus a little bit more on the unemployed people. So if you're unemployed, you have time at your disposal. You have time at your disposal. Just like my friend who I mentioned earlier. When they were unemployed, they had all the time at their disposal. The only thing that happens when someone is unemployed is that the state of mind is not, you're not in that, how do I put it? When someone is unemployed, your state of mind is not at its all time best. You know, yeah, you are worried how you'll pay your bills, you are anxious, maybe you are depressed. But if you can capitalize on that, there is amazing things can that can happen. I also did another video of like how people spend time in prison. People like Nelson Mandela, when he was in prison, he took courses, he decided to read, he decided even to write. So I don't know which tragedy you are undergoing through, but if you're undergoing any sort of tragedy, you can decide to turn it into something beautiful. Yeah, you can decide to maximize on it. Then, still talking of tragedy, and remember there was this time when I lost a job. Then when I lost a job, I got a cashew job. Then one day when I was going to that cashew job, it was in the morning hours, early morning hours. Nikapigwa ngeta and and my phone was taken. Yeah. So I was there at a few days later at your job tena ikaisha. So I was there, I was without a job, I was without a phone. It was a tragedy. It was a moment of tragedy. No phone, no job. Yeah, around that time I had so much time at my disposal. I used to wonder what can I do with my time. I don't know, but I used to spend my time just reading. You know. So that that time that I spent reading, I used to wonder like, what will I do with all this information that I'm reading? You know, I'm like I'm reading, but I can't even at that moment I was like so low. I was like, okay, I can't even implement some of the things that I'm reading that moment. I was like, what will I do with this reading? You know? But looking back, I'm like, okay, that moment was a moment of tragedy, but in a way I tried to maximize on it. Because when I was starting I started with a blog before I started a channel. When I was like, okay, I want to start a blog, but what will I blog about? What will I blog about? Then it dawned to me like, why don't I blog about reading or books? Because yeah, in the recent past, I had read so many books. So that tragedy, what appeared to be like tragedy then, turned out to be something I can benefit from later on. We don't choose our tragedies. Yeah, I could not choose my phone to get lost and to be mugged in the morning. But because it happened, how do you capitalize on it? How do you capitalize on it? Jobs. You know, jobs, some people call it the rat race, the the 8 to 5. Yeah. The jobs have all these bad connotations. You know, sometimes whatever we pray for, once we get it, you are like, no, this is not what we wanted. So sometimes even our jobs, when people are talking about their jobs, they talk about it like it's a tragedy. You know, yeah. Sometimes the environment is not the best in these jobs and all that. But how can we turn this tragedy called a job and maximize on it? Maybe you want to move from employment, from a job, to the business world. You are craving for that freedom. But remember, a job or a business is like a baby. You can't have a baby today and tomorrow you're sending the baby to the shop. Even the pregnancy, yeah. A lady can't conceive today and deliver tomorrow. There's that period. There's that period. The pregnancy has to be nurtured. And once the baby is delivered, the baby has to be taken care of. The same applies with business. So, if you feel like the job is becoming like a tragedy, why don't you maximize on this tragedy? You know, maybe from that job, have enough money to cover for your 6 months expenses. So that when you start a business, most businesses they break even after 6 months. So when once you start a business, this business, you not start a business today and the business, you want to pay your bills with the business tomorrow. Maybe you want to transition from your job, from your 8 to 5 to the freelance world. Freelancing is, you know let no one lie to you. Not let no one hype to you that you can start freelancing today and yeah, and you make it today. You need to learn a skill. You need to get clients. Yeah, you need to build a portfolio of clients, and you get the point. So why don't you learn this skill while you're still at the job? Yeah. So whatever appears like a tragedy, there's some opportunities in it. In fact, the, as much as the job, most jobs are counted as the rat race, the 8 to 9 or the 8 to 5. Yeah, when you read self-help books, especially if you read self-help books, you can be tempted to quit your job the next day. Yeah, because they call you to action. Yeah, what's holding you back? Is it that job? Yeah, but they don't tell you that once you quit the job and you start your business, it's a different ballgame. Once you quit a job and you go to freelancing is a different ballgame. Now, because you're in the job, as much as it appears as a tragedy, the job offers security. So now that you have security, you can learn another skill at the side at your own pace. You can start a business at your own pace. You get the point? You can use the resources from your job. Hmm? Every job comes with its unique resources. You can also use the resources from your job to find another job. In fact, it's even easier to find a job when you're having a job. Yeah, you're more attractive as a job seeker if already you have a job. So whatever appears like a tragedy, sometimes it's not really a tragedy. It's only our perspective of it. Yeah, sometimes we have real tragedies. We have real tragedies, and they're inevitable. But sometimes we can decide what we shall use with the pain. Yeah, we can decide to channel the pain for something greater. As I am talking, I've remembered of a time I was in between jobs, and I had all the time. I remember I used to hang out with a buddy of mine who was in the film industry. Yeah, and this time when I used to hang with around him, he was just editing videos. But at that time, I was like, why should I run editing videos? Yeah, my path, there's no way. My path is different. There's no way I'll never be in the line of film. There's no way I'll need these skills. You know. So I was so fixated on on my tragedy. Like, I don't have a job. What I just need is to find a job. But I never saw the opportunity that was presented to me. I would have that time that I didn't have a job. I would have learned about video editing. Yeah. In fact, now I need to run. I need to run video editing. Yeah. I need to start editing my videos and all that. So what appeared like a tragedy back then, if I had capitalized on it, yeah, I would have turned that tragedy into something meaningful. Yeah. So as as that takeaway from that book, from Ogmandino, The University of Success, that takeaway about that person who had to spend almost an year in bed, you know. But there is a beauty in every tragedy. So every tragedy comes with it an opportunity. Yeah. So I don't know maybe what you're going through when you're watching this video. Whatever appears to be like a tragedy in your life, make a good use of it. Yeah, make a good use of it. So thank you so much for watching the video. Remember to like, to subscribe, and to share. Thank you very much.